so today we are talking about the banning of TikTok. TikTok was banned for 12 hours and then miraculously it came back.
Now,
like a Christmas miracle.
A lot of people were really worried, and we had did a story where we were covering it the other day.
Yeah.
But a lot of content creators, influencers were worried because when you open up the app, it actually said that this is banned in America.
Yes. Freedom of speech, no longer.
Right.
And so this is where we are. Was it a scam?
Oh.
A lot of people are saying this is odd. How did it come back so quickly? Right. And it actually came back before Trump was actually inaugurated.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, a lot of people.
But they said on the app that it was because of Trump that the app is back.
Definitely. And so, actually, they're calling him Mr. TikTok on TikTok. He was actually at Donald Trump's inauguration.
Okay.
So
all
the tech bros,
they had all the social media guys there.
Yeah, the owners were there. And so now people are like
questioning like what's really
this
going
is
on.
Questionable. Okay. Was this the intention all along?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that was the intention?
Yeah.
Or
I think that I think that the whole thing was a publicity stunt.
Oh.
It came back right on time, and all of a sudden, Trump, who was against TikTok, he's now for it. But at his inauguration speech, he had mentioned,
I like TikTok. I like it. We don't want to give our business to China. We don't want to give our business to other people. They're worth like $1 trillion.
And that America is going to benefit from it. And people didn't object. They didn't boo. And they all were in agreement with it. But I think one of the more interesting things with it is that when you logged on there, and a lot of people had talked about it, was how you could now fuse your Facebook account with TikTok. And a lot of people didn't like that because people don't want to be in the Meta network. And they don't want to be a part of Facebook either.
And why is that?
Absolutely.
Why is it?
So my thing was, when I seen that and I knew that it was a scam or something was up.
This is fishy.
Something was wrong. I knew something was wrong because in order for an app to have those kind of features,
it takes months.
It takes time.
Not 12 hours.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes beta testing. It takes a lot for them to integrate apps together to do things like that.
Right.
And so who knew? Facebook obviously knew what was going to happen. And TikTok had to know in order for them to bring those together, those features together.
But it was like they were pulling the wool over our eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And so while influencers and everybody, the news or whatever is talking about how this company is going to be banned come January 19th, behind the scenes they were actually working on integrating the apps together.
It was the whole time.
The whole time. Yeah. So
not just 12 hours, the whole time. But there was also an influencer on TikTok who said there was a party that was being held before, like a day before, celebrating TikTok, and there were TikTok influencers there. You could pull it up if you want.
Oh, okay.
And she thought it was strange that although TikTok was banned and nobody didn't know if it was coming back, while they were holding a celebration of TikTok.
Right.
And like Donald Trump had something to do with it because they said they were like celebrating Donald Trump and TikTok there. So very suspicious. It don't add up to me.
All right. So, I mean, it does add up to me. It just seems like, publicity stunt, business move. And we're just going to see what's going to happen.
So do you think TikTok will remain the same?
No. Hell
algorithm, a lot of people are saying that the algorithm is already different. You can't find certain things on the app anymore. Yeah. Also, when news broke out about Elon Musk doing certain things, nobody could find it. Okay. No one was talking about it. And TikTok is a place where people get unfiltered news. Right. That's what we spoke about. And so now the question is, are we really free to speak our minds.
No, it's never been like that. It's never been like that, especially with people who don't own or control their own platforms. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be a narrative or an agenda being pushed on whatever social media platform that you're on, and all the platforms do it. You know, because the same content that you find on YouTube, you won't find it or you'll find different styles of that content, or not the same thing on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, or whatever have you. But when they talk about like American data, it's like, what data you got? You know, nobody cared that you go to Walmart.
I mean, the thing is, they already have our data.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody got your data. I mean, the thing is,
has our data,
right.
And now they're trying to protect our data from China. But what's to say they're not? Somebody's not selling the data to China anyway. They just don't want China to sell our data to
No, what it is they just don't want China to get the data for free. So that's all it is, because Google Maps know exactly where you go, or your Facebook know when you say, "Hey, I like cologne," and cologne pop up in your feed.
Right.
You know, all that shit. They know that they're making money off of that in the back end.
Well, I think Meta is reading your brain waves, because anytime you go on Facebook, it's like if you had a conversation, somehow an ad pops up with the exact thing that you were talking about.
Right.
That never happened on TikTok.
Okay, yeah, that
was suspicious.
That's because the mic is always on. So.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So it's listening to
I
everything.
thought it was listening to your brain waves.
It's listening to everything, even when your phone is off or it's in sleep mode or dark or whatever. Yeah.
It's still recording it.
Yeah, it's still recording. Yeah, exactly.
So the United States made it seem like they're trying to protect us as Americans, but really
that was propaganda. It's anti-Chinese propaganda.
Okay,
yeah.
So
most people fall for it.
Well, this is where we are today. But TikTok is back though.
Because my thing is that they will tell you a bunch of anti-Chinese propaganda, but when you follow the money or when you see what the actual people are doing, the politicians are going to China to do business deals. They allowed a Chinese president to come to America and meet with Silicon Valley and tech bro to broker deals and all kinds of shit. You look at the Chinese, there's more emphasis on banning TikTok than actual China business people coming over to America buying up farmland and acreage. Yeah. So nobody's really talking about that, but it's like, hey, we're just YouTubers. What do we know?
Another thing, while TikTok refugees were on Red Note, they seen that the lifestyle of many Chinese people were better than their own. Oh, no, that's what they're saying. They're saying their rent is cheaper, going to school is cheaper. They don't have to pay taxes on their properties for the rest of their lives. Right. And
see, this is the thing with that.
Chinese propaganda as well.
It's like this. They're taking a snapshot. They're taking a snapshot of one person's situation, and then
they're not just people.
And then thinking that that's what the case is in China overall, because it's easy for someone overseas in another country to look at America, look at American television or America's social media, and think that everyone lives like the Kardashians, because that's what always happens. People come to, especially with somewhere like where we live in Atlanta, people will look at, television, they'll see how great things are in Atlanta.
Until they come here.
And they realize what it is.
It's like, it's harder than I thought.
And so even seeing how people are and then being like, oh, they're living better than us, it's still a small snapshot. And it might not necessarily show the bigger picture.
A lot of people were crying.
Yeah.
It's like life is so much better in China.
Well, go ahead and move there. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. As always, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Peace!